There we go. You should all hear me now. You should all hear me now. So we're gonna skip the introduction since I already, messed that, took a minute and 15 seconds of your time, and let's just get straight into the show, okay? Let's just get straight into the show now that you can hear me. I should just do my intro anyways, but I'm not going to. So anyways, you're all here and you can clearly hear me now. I see the thumbs up are coming in. So let's get going, man. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button, share the video out on your social media platforms, all that good stuff. All right. Like button, all that good stuff. Push the video out to, blah, blah, blah. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. MSNBC is in a full-blown meltdown right now over the Kamala Harris failed Fox News interview. Full meltdown right now. And I came across a funny tweet, or a funny X, I guess you'd call it nowadays, where somebody posted this video. And I just wanted to play this for you all real quick. If I remember correctly, the caption read, "Oh man, it looks like Bret Baier took Kamala Harris's joy," because she was running a campaign on joy and good vibes and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's just see to what degree Bret Baier took Kamala Harris's joy, because she appears pretty angry in this clip that we're going to see right now.
Should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again. Never again.
She looked mad and bitter. Look at her face. Oh, she's mad. That Fox News interview did not go well, did it?
Never again. Never again.
That's dictator talk right there. I'm kind of nervous. That's dictator talk. But like I said, man, it's been very interesting and funny to watch MSNBC in full-blown meltdown right now. Very salty. They're very salty over the way in which the interview went, and are operating in a very delusional fashion because they're trying to pretend as if the interview went well when it clearly didn't, right? One of the things that I see that they're doing over and over again, I'm going to pull it up in this clip right now, is where you're going to hear number one, and like I said, it's very interesting. They keep saying, or you're going to hear this host continue to say, that people are just simply seeing and hearing what they want to see and hear. And if you were to watch the entirety of this clip, to which we're only going to watch 30 seconds of, though, throughout the entirety of that clip, they kept giving Kamala Harris these like participation trophies, right? They're just happy that she went to a hostile environment and apparently held her own against someone who's working for Donald Trump, Bret Baier, to which that's not true. And I'm actually going to prove that at the end of this video, because Bret Baier has been catching a lot of flack. A lot of people are saying that he apparently mistreated Kamala and he interviewed her in a fashion that he would have never done Donald Trump. And that just simply isn't true. And I have the clips to show that, because he has actually interviewed Trump before and he didn't take it easy on Trump. But I want to I want to focus back in right now, though, on this particular clip here. Listen to what they're saying as it concerns people like you and me are apparently seeing just whatever it is that we want to see. And we're operating in delusion and not reality.
Let's talk about this interview, because people are going to see whatever they want to see out of it. But what she showed is that she's capable and she's unafraid. Victoria, let's first talk about that TV interview. The stunning or disheartening thing is people are going to hear, people are going to see whatever they want to see, no matter what happened in that interview. But what was your take?
People are seeing the truth of what actually happened in that interview concerning Kamala Harris's constant contradictions, her flip-flopping, her refusal to give actual direct answers, and her constant filibustering, because she consistently and constantly wants to revert back to talking points that Bret Baier wouldn't allow her to do, because he wanted a direct answer, not an answer going back to how you grew up in the middle class and your mom bought a house because she saved up money. That's not what anybody wants to hear, right? So once again, we saw what we actually saw, which is Kamala fail, which is what she always does, especially in an environment where it's not scripted. But we all know from the 60 Minutes interview as well, even if it is scripted and highly edited, she will still fail, which says a lot about Kamala Harris and what a Kamala Harris presidency would look like if indeed she does win. Now, one of the reasons that this interview was a failure and that she did fail is apparently because of racism, white supremacy. It's because of sexism. It's because of male chauvinism. If you let Sunny Hostin tell it, and of course, they had Sunny Hostin on MSDNC. I want to take a moment for you to look at this video clip so we can watch MSNBC and Sunny Hostin cope over the fact that Kamala Harris performed so poorly. Let's get into this clip right now.
Think that he approached her differently than other people he interviews?
Let me rewind that back just a little bit.
Do you think that he approached her differently than other people he interviews?
You know, I saw a little bit of the panel after the interview, and one woman said that she came in hot and also said that she became angrier. I thought he came in hot. And what I am very tired of is this trope of the angry black woman. She was.
Stop it. Stop it right there, please. You can't put the trope of the angry black woman on an Indian biracial woman. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. It is a factual statement that Kamala Harris is an Indian biracial woman. So how you put angry black woman trope on her is beyond me. I don't know how you do that, but you know, apparently that's what's happening. That's what happened.
This trope of the angry black woman. She was not angry. She was in command of the facts. She was passionate. Passion does not equal anger. You know, I'm often called, you know, Donald Trump actually called me dumb at a rally recently.
I mean, anyways, just let it play.
You have these tropes that are used against women and women of color in particular. And
so only women and women of color get called dumb. People call me dumb in the comment section all the time, you know, but maybe it's because I'm black, but at least I'm actually black and I'm not an Indian biracial man who's pretending to be black. But carry on, Sonny.
I did not see a dumb woman. I did not see an angry woman. I saw a woman who understands what is at stake.
I saw a woman who was stumbling and fumbling over policies that she should know like the back of her hand by now, but she clearly doesn't. And it leads me to believe that, once again, as I've stated 1,000,001 times, there's one of two things going on in terms of her consistent poor performances. I've shared with you guys on a handful of occasions, you know, my tinfoil hat theory on how this is a throwaway campaign. But either they're coaching her into giving these almost troll-like answers that she consistently does. Either they're coaching her into doing that because this is a throwaway campaign, in my opinion, or she has yes men and women surrounding her in which they're not telling her how horrible she's doing. They're simply telling her, hey, you're doing great. Just keep it going. No, you're doing just fine. And it wouldn't surprise me that she has yes men surrounding her, because as we've covered multiple times on this channel, is that Kamala Harris is notorious for having a revolving door of staffers that go in and out from working for her because she is a horrible person to work for. She's a douche, to say the very least. And we've covered this on a multitude of occasions throughout the 3.5 years that she's been in office. But once again, like I stated, it's one of those two things. Either they're telling her, hey, man, just say this and say that because, you know, we're running this, you know, stress test on a population to see if that we can actually get you and convince the people to vote for you, even though you sound like a complete fool. We want to see if this test works because we don't expect you to really win anyways. So in the event that you do, oh, my God, we have the people wrapped around our finger. Either that's going on or she's just genuinely bombing because she's just really bad at what she does. And her yes men are telling her, hey, don't worry about it. You're doing great. But what I want to do now is transition over to Mika Brzezinski, because I want to continue to speak on this issue here, where everyone is giving Bret Baier a hard time. One of the things that I keep hearing over and over again is Bret Baier sold out. The mainstream media, the DNC press on the left, every time they speak on him, from what I've heard today, they'll give Bret Baier his props and they'll say that he is a stand-up journalist. They say it, they all say it. They say that he was a stand-up journalist who essentially sold out to the Trump campaign in order to help him out in this interview because he constantly interrupted her. Now, it wasn't true. Like I stated earlier, he was preventing her from filibustering, because when he would ask her a question, I'm just looking for a direct answer, and I can see that you're getting ready to go into your script, and we don't have time for that. We only have about 25 minutes. I can't just let you ramble on and on about nothing. I want you to listen to how they kind of introduce the topic, and then I'm going to show you what's real versus the falsehoods that they're pushing forward on Bret. So let's get into Mika right now.
Was set right from the outset with a series of questions about immigration where the Vice President of the United States wasn't really given the opportunity to respond. Here's how that played out. And that was the opening exchange, Mika. It went on like that for nearly 30 minutes. It goes without saying that Donald Trump would not be given the same treatments, talked over, not allowed to finish those questions. It doesn't mean the topics weren't fair. There was a lot in there that viewers wanted to hear from Kamala Harris. Why do you have different positions now than you did in 2019? How are you going to fix the immigration crisis? All fair questions, but Donald Trump obviously would never be treated that way on Fox News.
Now, either you don't watch Fox News, which is fine if you don't, but either you don't watch Fox News, or you're being intentionally and deliberately deceitful. You're intentionally and deliberately just making stuff up as it pertains to Fox and Bret Baier, because he did interview Donald Trump. He's done that already. And what I want to show you all in closing, it's about a 2-minute montage, you can say, right, of all of the times that Bret interrupted Donald Trump. Him and Trump went back and forth like crazy during their interview. And I want to play that for you right now in closing. Let's check this out.
2020.
You know that this,
and if you look at all,
rewind it back just a little bit.
I won in 2020.
You know that this,
and if you look at all of the tapes, if you look at everything that you want to look at, this was a very rigged election.
Are you going to go, this is how you're going to tell that independent suburban woman voter to vote for you?
We're off to winning an election, and I think we're winning very well. All corrupt stuff, Bret.
Understand about the Hunter Biden,
no, but
all
that's cheating
fair
on the
things.
Election.
But
that's cheating on the election.
You lost the 2020 election.
Bret, intelligence agents.
There were recounts in all of the swing states. There was not significant widespread
We're trying
fraud.
to get recounts, real recounts, not just numbers of votes
widespread
cast.
corruption. There was not a sense of that.
Money gets offered to people, and some people change.
But there's
I will
people
say
on
this,
that list that are not taking money that decided that they're not
for the most
supporting
part,
you.
they are. Please, could we have it back?
And they
please,
asked for that.
because they have no. We
They
were
did
talking.
ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
"Can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?"
And we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
Which
back.
they've never done before.
Right.
And in
But
all
why not
fairness,
just hand them over then?
Because I fired him, and he has great hatred, and that's okay, because some people do, and
says
some
he
people love
resigned.
me very much. He didn't resign. I asked him, give me a letter immediately. There were many things. I would say
Iran war
much more, not that I know of. Nixon had it. Carter had
Their
it. The
argument
Bushes
is that
had
these
it.
are super sensitive national security documents. All right, so here's,
I'm sure you'll
this
see
is-
real super sensitive that Biden has, because Biden has far more than anybody's ever kept.
And he turned them over when
No,
asked.
he
but-
didn't.
but
He
that's
still
what he
hasn't given
says.
the 1,850 boxes. I had lots of paper.
I can keep going right now for another minute of this. Bret Baier was on Donald Trump's bumper, essentially saying the unspeakables as it pertains to people who are on the right and how they're not fair and balanced and how you would expect them to just be on Trump's side with everything, Bret Baier was on Donald Trump's behind and wasn't letting him essentially get away with anything, even as it pertains to the election, as it pertains to the sensitive documents case. He was on him the entire time. As Deneen Grant said, he's an equal opportunity interviewer. The same energy that he gave Trump is the same energy that he gave Kamala. And I will even go as far as to say that he was even more aggressive towards Trump, which is to be expected. Or I should say, I wouldn't say it's to be expected, but which isn't surprising to me, given the fact that, Trump is a man and, you typically you're not, you don't have as much of an issue, right? Being more forceful and somewhat aggressive in conversation with a man as you would with a woman, where you'd want to kind of, check yourself, check your emotions, and make sure you don't come off as too aggressive, because you know how that plays out for you, especially if you're in the media. So you're seeing this video evidence here. And like I said, I can continue to play this for about another, I don't know, maybe minute and a half, but that'll be redundant at this point. You get the point. They're lying on this man, saying that he sold out to Donald Trump and that he sold out to apparently, the MAGA agenda, which just simply isn't true. What happened last night was that you saw Kamala Harris be her normal self, in which she fumbles and stumbles and bumbles all over the place. She had a fair and balanced interview that was unscripted, and she failed. That's all there is to it. She had a fair and balanced interview that wasn't scripted, and she failed. But as I stated before, that's something that she does rather regularly. She does that rather regularly, is failed. She ran a failed presidential campaign in 2019. Throughout the time that she was vice president, there was a multitude of interviews, audio clips, quotes of staffers, members of the DNC like Elizabeth Warren and Nancy Pelosi, who you couldn't get them to speak a kind word about Kamala Harris. I believe it was the NBC poll that came out in which she was ranked with the lowest disapproval rating that a vice president has ever received in the history of polling. This is a woman who was thoroughly disliked. And once again, what you're seeing is just a manifestation of who she is. A failure. That's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. With all that being said, that does it for today's show. That does it for today's stream. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I don't know what's going on. That started off the stream, I started off muted, and now I'm struggling to talk. So we're going to go ahead and shut this thing down. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Shout out to College of Natural Health and Sciences, BDA, who said, I'm here to thank a union member for an AI bot spreading misinformation. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am a Russian bot powered by artificial intelligence and ChatGPT to push misinformation on YouTube to trick Black folks into voting for Trump. I don't know if you knew that already, but if you're just now subscribing to the channel and you didn't know that, you've been warned. I am a Russian bot who's created to push misinformation. Shout out to College of Natural Health and Sciences, BDA, once again, who said, my black dog, black cat, and now my black parrot, thanks a union member. And for those of you who don't know, he's referencing Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, who went on a tangent about that. He can't visit the border because apparently his wife is Black, and it's hard having a Black wife with Black children that you're raising on the south side of Chicago. So that's what he's referencing right now. And in closing, I'll let you get this. Let me play this for you. College of Natural Health and Science, BDA. Where are we at? Where is it at? Here we go.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Now let me go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I think I need to drink some tea or something. My voice is like about to go. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share the video on your social media platforms. All that good stuff. I started out the stream janky, so I'll end it janky. Just hit the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.